Hi my friends, and welcome back to Destynee. If you're new to my channel, I thank you so much for stopping by. Now please don't be shy, press the subscribe button and turn on your notifications. So how you do that is there's a little bell beside the subscribe button, and once you press that, you will always be notified when I post a new video. So this is not such a glamorous video today. As promised in my 2-week update on the Kendra's Hair Boutique, I did promise that I would come back a month and a half to 2 months to give an honest review on how the hair behaved for the 2 months. It was a very highly anticipated video for a lot of people. I'm not sure why, but here we are. Now with this being coming from 613 hair, I didn't want to bleach the knots. Reason being is the hair was already weak as it is. Coming from a blonde state, you know that the hair is weaker. Now with me wearing it in a center part, I always, for the most part, I wore it in a center part, and I figured why not just tweeze out the part so that it looks more realistic, and that's what I tried to do. Now when I was tweezing the part, the knots didn't want to make me great, to say the least. At some points I had to leave it because the knots were so, I want to say they were tough and they wanted to rip through the lace. I just left it alone, and I used concealer or foundation, whatever I drew for, but it was always in my skin tone, just to make it look more realistic in the parts, in the part that I wanted, and also because some of the knots didn't come out and I refused to rip the lace. Now let's see, that was the lace. So let's talk about the lace. Very short. The lace was not the softest and it was not very undetectable, so I did end up tinting the lace with some Rit dye to my complexion. Okay, so the unit came with adjustable straps. So the adjustable straps is the strap in the back that's supposed to make the wig more snug to your head, and I had an issue with the adjustable strap. So the adjustable strap was too high on the unit and too low. I hope you understand what that means. So when I say too high and too low, I'll just give you a little illustration. So the strap came too high up and too low. So not, the strap wasn't up here that went around, it was too low. So when I tried to customize the unit to fit my head and cut around my ear, I had to cut through the adjustable strap and then reinforce it once I got it to fit my head properly. I had to reinforce it by sewing that strap to the lace that was about right here. It is what it is, and I made it work, and it wasn't a huge issue because at that point, I mean, the hair was still brand new to me, so I mean, that was the smallest issue that I had so far. So the density of this hair was very thin. When I ordered, it did say that the unit would be equivalent to a frontal and I think 3 bundles, and I don't know what 3 bundles they were talking about because this was thin. If you watch my initial unboxing, you will see how thin it was. It wasn't a huge issue for me, like I said in the beginning, because I did want that sleek look, and that's why I got straight hair. So with this unit being so thin, I decided to be a smarty pants, and I added crimps and curls alternately to give it volume. Well, let me tell you something. The curls, the crimps, they held up beautifully, and once it was done, it looked pretty. It was really, really pretty when it was done. But you see, come the next day, I was looking cray. I'm telling you, it was dry AF. And the flyaways, I forgot to talk about the flyaways. The flyaways were like uncontrollable. I used mousse, I used my Care wax stick, and then I had to use my hot pressing comb to press down the flyaways, or else it was just looking like a hot ass mess. Now, let me tell you something. I've been ordering hair since Jesus' slippers was brand new. and I know how to deal with hair. I know how to deal with the highest quality hair. I know how to deal with the lowest quality hair. I know how to dye my own units because I always do. And anybody that knows me then knows that my hair is always red and I always have nice hair. Regardless of the company, I always have nice hair. But this hair is in a doghouse with 2 or 3 other cheaper vendors. So regardless of the hairstyle that I'm rocking, I always wash my hair, condition my hair once a week. Reason being is because I sweat a lot in my head, and anyone that knows me, I just cannot take the itching. When you sweat in your head, it makes it become itchy. So I remove my units once a week and I wash my hair and I deep condition my hair. When I'm washing and deep conditioning my hair, I also wash and deep condition my unit. Now, I always put my units in rehab. And when I say rehab, I mean, there's one in here now. Yeah, she's in there. With deep condition, and that's been in there since yesterday. Okay, so I deep condition and I leave it in there for a day and a half to a day, depending on whatever I'm doing. And so after I do that, I put it over there and I let it air dry, and once it's finished air drying, I give it one pass with the flat iron, and that is it. The reason I'm only giving it the one pass is because I figure if it's behaving like this now, the less heat damage for this unit, the better. Now let me tell you something. This unit sheds and sheds and it sheds and it not stop shed. It sheds like roadkill. I always use a tangle tamer brush in my hair. Doesn't matter what company it is. So there's hair in it. The tangle tamer looks like this. Basically gently, very gently brushes and detangles your hair. And there's another one. This one actually says Tangle Tamer Max and this one says Ultra Smooth. So they're the same brush, does the same thing. And I just go through and brush my hair like that. And the hair is still coming out. And I already brushed this morning to get on video, to get on camera. And this morning, I'll show you what I was served, which I'm served every day when I comb this thing. I put it on a napkin for you, and this is all the hair that comes out. And this is not even what is on my carpet. This is the mountain of hair that comes out. This is ridiculous. My vacuum cleaner is right here. And it doesn't leave this room because there's always hair all over the place. And let me tell you something, I don't like the feeling of hair between my toes. Now this is the driest, coarsest, when I say coarsest 613 hair ever. Again, I know that they most likely started off with 613, and that's why I'm using the phrase 613 hair. I received it as bread, but I know that it originated from 613 for them to achieve that red. Now, I'm telling you that I have seen Kendra's Hair Boutique reviews on YouTube, and those girls have the natural state, the natural color of the hair, so in a 1B or a black or whatever the color that they received it came in, and their hair looks full and it had a healthy luster and good swingability, if that's a word, swingability. My unit didn't fall into any one of those categories. Anyone. As you can see, I'm doing this and where's the swing? Where's the swing? Like, where's the swing? Anyways, I did try my best to reach out to Kendra's. I reached out on Instagram, and clearly I'm not Black China, so clearly no one sees the need to respond to me. I reached out to see if maybe there's something that I'm doing wrong with the hair that they have. Maybe they have tips on how to make it work. Don't have a clue, but nobody responded. I tried calling, and I was promised that either Kay or Ashley was going to get back to me. Still sitting here, no phone calls. So from the very get-go, I had bad experience with the horrible customer service, and then after I tried to reach out and no one called me back, and then the hair ended up being complete, you know what I mean. Kendra, I'm sorry girl, but you get a huge thumbs down. The hair didn't really tangle, it just kind of got knotted. I wouldn't say it's a huge tangle where it's like, oh my god. However, in the back of my head, down to the nape of my head, always looked cray-cray. Always. Like as I'm sitting, and usually I have a chair here that I had to remove the back. So this has a high back and I had to remove it because every time I sat here and did my makeup after I did my hair and I let it set, and then I would tie this on my hair, and I tied this big old scarf on my head every night. I tied it on my hair when I styled my hair and just wanted to set it so that I can do my makeup. This back here, let me see if you can see, this back here ends up looking like this, like as if I've been sitting in a vehicle for 99 hours. I mean, my daughter says to me one day, Mom, you're going outside like that? And I didn't realize that my hair was cocked up like a fouled butt. It looked like a chicken butt in the back of my head, just cocked up. So if you decide to go and order this hair, order it with caution. Do your research, okay?